I just had a brain fart. So now I'm gonna make a video about it. I was sitting there talking to my wife, and I wish I could hunt up that article, but I was reading it where they said that the government will prove within 20 years that there are aliens. Really? Okay. Maybe. Can't write it off. But I really got into every time that science goes out and tries to disprove the Bible, they prove it. So the Bible is scientifically accurate. So then they go out and try to say, they said for decades or forever that the Bible was archaeologically inaccurate. And then they find these cities that the Bible said were there. And then they go out and they try to figure out, try to prove that the Bible is geographically inaccurate. And then a Christian sees something in the Old Testament, and he goes to the Israeli government and he says, here, the Bible says there's oil right here. Well, what's fascinating is that God must have revealed it to him. And so the Israelites, they go out and they drill a test well, and they find 1 billion barrels of gas and like 1 trillion cubic feet a trillion cubic feet of natural gas and 1 billion barrels of oil, making Israel just energy dependent completely, which is really cool. And the Bible talked about giants, and now you can see hundreds of articles, even conspiracy theory articles, showing bones, and then other articles about people that said, hey, we found bones, these giant bones here in Ohio, and people from the government came and snatched them up. They say they took them to the Smithsonian. I don't know what they did at the Smithsonian. Maybe they ground them up into powder and ate and consumed them for, I don't know, because they're nuts. To me, it's unfathomable that they would see the continuous scientific evidence over and over again. So now they're no longer saying that the Bible was wrong. What they're saying is that civilization must have been far more advanced back in those days, and even though they weren't so advanced technically, then mankind must have been far more advanced long before that, and these were just the memories left over from when mankind was very technologically advanced. And maybe. I mean, I can't say that mankind wasn't technologically advanced before the flood. And everybody now agrees there was a Noah's flood. It's because it's on every continent there's lore about a great flood. Huh. You know, people should just get real. Now, I'm not offering any verses or anything like that. Most anybody that would question this, they can just look it up for themselves, and if they're too lazy to look it up, then c'est la vie. I know one thing it's doing is destroying the narrative of the communists and the atheists. Oh yeah. Well, anyway, I was was sitting here watching Alex Jones. You know, I can't critique this guy enough. This guy he is one of the most narcissistic SOBs I've ever seen in my life. It's all about him. Yeah, it's all about him. I think the guy has PTSD. I think that's his main problem. And he also has ADD. He'll say, well, I'll get back to you, and then he'll go off there, and then he'll just get totally distracted and think about something else. He needs to knock that off. He should just focus, and he don't do it. So, you know, whatever. You know, he's probably reached the highest pinnacle of what he's going to reach, and unless he gets past his PTSD and ADD. I get it. You know, the man probably got beat to within an inch of his life, born once in his life, got scared like he was going to die. That'll trip you into post-traumatic stress syndrome. You know, I get it. But bottom line is, got to be a benefit to mankind. You're going to be in this position. Otherwise, everybody's going to keep looking at him with suspicion. I mean, you can't run around saying you're all doomed and it's all so bad and we've lost and it's over, we're conquered. You know, that's what you want to do. You want to run around telling people, hey, wake up, we're conquered. Really? No. I did this and I went and did that and I went this. You're going to tell anecdote about your life, tell an anecdote about your life, but you don't see any of these other pros doing that same thing. You know, it ain't about them. I used to get mad back when I was a kid when I would hear anecdote. I'm going to tell an anecdote, personal witness and testimony. I used to sit and watch the Huntley Brinkley Report and Walter Cronkite, the guy that's set the bar for today's modern day news television personalities. See, that's another thing they're personalities today. Okay, we don't need a personality. We need somebody to just read us the freaking news and move on with your day. But I used to get mad because these guys would say, in the opinion of this reporter. That's wrong. Walter Cronkite was famous for saying all the time. And by the mid 70s to late 70s, when I was a teen, I started saying, I don't care about your opinion. Just give me the information. You're wasting seconds and minutes telling me what you think. I don't care what you think. That's all the news media's job is. Get the news out there. You can't get the news out there if you're telling other people what you think. Well, anyway, 8 minutes. Not too bad. Shouldn't take forever to load that up. Time to go. Click.